No, I want to tell you that here in Egypt, something about all the marbles. When it
Okay.
was released in Egypt, it used to have, it was very successful in box office because people used to like Peter Falk a lot.
Yes, I was
Uh,
told that by MGM,
yeah,
that it was a very big hit in Egypt, but I didn't know why.
I tell you, people used to love Peter Falk because of Colombo role
Right.
was very popular, and because of course the film had you, and it has a lot of beautiful, two beautiful women with him. This is one thing, but the thing is, I want to tell you, they kept on repeating it, the film. After they pull it from theater, and the cinema, it was MGM Cinema in Cairo, still exists.
Oh, it
After,
does.
yes, after they pull it from theater, then they bring one or two, three films, and if a film doesn't get a good box office and the cinema doesn't have a large audience, they put the film again to overcome the loss of the previous film. So
Right.
this is why I kept on repeating it in Cairo and Alexandria for a couple of years. Like it played, reruns like that. This is why it had a lot of money.
So it was a big hit in Egypt,
It was
right?
a big hit, very popular. Yes,
That's
yes,
what they told me. Robert Aldrich and
um,
David Beagleman, the head of the studio at the time, told me at the
it's
Cannes Film Festival that it
correct.
was a very big hit in Egypt.
It
So,
was a correct information, and I want to tell you, we rename it in Arabic. We couldn't translate the English title, so internationally sometimes the titles got changes. So it was called The Wild Ladies, the Wild
the
Beautiful.
Wild Ladies?
Yes, the Wild
No,
Beautiful Ladies. Yes,
the Wild Ladies?
yes,
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
yes,
Some places it was called the California Dolls,
yes, 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 yes,
but
yes,
the Wild Ladies.
yes.
What about the Wild Man? That was Peter Falk.
Yes, yes, but
That's what it was called, the
yes,
Wild Lady.
yes,
That is
yes,
so funny. Even from the beginning, it wasn't called All the Marbles.
yes, yes, because yes, it maybe all the marble sells. It is more understandable by American audience, but if it goes to France, Italy, the distributors usually changes the name into a more convenient local title.
Right. Well, they had that problem here too, Sharif, because
Yeah.
the movie was not successful here.
Yes.
As you know, it was a very big hit in Japan,
Yes.
but nobody knew what the title All the Marbles meant. I didn't know what it meant when I
Mm-hmm.
read the script. I didn't understand what it meant. Nobody here in America knew what it meant. It should have been called, I don't know, the Wrestling Girls or something. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Nobody knew. They also made the mistake of opening it against the World Series, right?
Yeah.
And the night of the premiere for the movie, I didn't even go. In Westwood, California here, I didn't even go to the premiere because I was watching the Dodger game,
Yes.
the World Series. So the movie didn't open well because MGM, the head of publicity, Phyllis Gardner, I think her name was, made a very big mistake in that they opened it against the World Series, and you can't do that.
Yes, yes, of course. But yeah, yeah. I worked for distribution for 5 years
Oh, okay.
in Egypt. Here, the local offices of Cairo, of Fox, Warner, Universal, Paramount, MGM, for 5 years. And one of the heads of the regional office told me, because he found me like working a lot and following the box office and doing a lot of work. I was handling the publicity of the films, the press releases. I used to translate a lot of material in Arabic for the local journalists. So
Right.
he told me, Well, don't think about it too hard, because luck has a great part of it, and also forces of nature you cannot control. Here in Egypt, if we are in the winter and it's cold or it is rainy, the people don't go out here, huh? People doesn't go like the winter or the cold. The box office goes down a little bit, and well, the people, and the film could flop because the people, it's a rain or something. It's a rainy day, so.
Right.
so
Yeah.
so the same goes for a play or something, and a big opening night for a play. You do a lot of rehearsal, and then nobody comes at the opening night. It
If,
happens.
it, if it's raining, you mean?
Yes, yes. It's raining, or it's really bad weather, like it's a hurricane or something like that.
Does it rain? Does it rain there a lot or no?
No, in Egypt, no, no. In Alexandria, more, because it sees the Mediterranean Sea, but in Cairo, no, like 2-3 times a day or something.
Let me ask you this: how were the pyramids built? There's conflicting stories here in America.
It's a
How were they
complete.
built?
Until now, nobody knows exactly.
Still?
There are theories, and my wife is, by the way, she's Colombian. She lives with me here, and every time somebody visits, she takes him to the pyramids. She likes it there a lot. So we invited Danny Glover once in a film festival, and we took them there. And also Egypt, all the cities are full of monuments, temples, Luxor,
Right.
Aswan. So it's
Culture.
yeah, it's
Culture. I
so
love culture.
yes. So the pyramids, until now, nobody knows exactly how they are built, and which kind of machines they used to to uh,
Raised
to
them.
to raise the stones, especially that it's not about how they built it as well. It's about the location. The location of the pyramid coincides with the geostationary and the gravitation of the earth, and also is related to the solar system as well. So
Really?
yeah, I can send you a link of a documentary on YouTube. You can watch
Oh,
it.
I'd love to see it. I would
Yeah,
love to see it.
because it's all the pyramids around the world, also in Mexico, different civilization, decided why they decided to build a pyramid, and not another geometrical shape, because it is related to the electric and magnetic fields around Earth and the gravitation,
Okay.
and as well. There is a theory that they used to generate electricity with it.
I'm sorry, there's a
Yeah.
theory of
They generate electricity with it. They used to
electricity.
at that
How
time.
so?
Yeah, because there is a upcoming film about the scientist Tesla coming up,
Yes.
and there is a theory that he discovered how to generate infinite energy, and there is no need to use petroleum. Okay, and that's why somebody killed him. Somebody killed the scientist before he bring to the world the way to generate energy, and it because it would have killed all the shut down all the petrol companies around the world, and it's a big mafia.
Oh,
Yes,
that's fascinating.
yes.
I would love to see the documentary.
I will send you the link. We are connected right now. But I want to ask you about how did you
Sure.
how did you start in show business? Did you start I know that you are Canadian. You moved with your family, correct? Did you start
Yes, I did.
modeling, and then into
Yes,
film?
I was a model. I
Mm.
was a model for not quite a while, for maybe 3 years when I was in college.
Yes.
But I didn't like it. I hated it. It was just boring because I couldn't sit still. I would climb up into trees, climb on buildings. I didn't like modeling. It was boring.
Yes.
So I wanted to do something that I could express myself. So that's how I got into acting. And I started out an extra in movies. I started out as an extra.
Yes.
And the interesting way I got all the marbles was I was flown up to Las Vegas for the Miss Black Velvet pageant. It was an alcohol pageant, for billboards here in California. So I was flown up there, and they narrowed it down from 50 women. I was one of them to two of us, two girls, myself
Yes.
and a Spanish girl, and she won, and she deserved to win, very much so. She was
Yes.
incredibly beautiful.
Yes.
So, and she won. So while I was up there, I met a casting director named Jackie Bascal,
Mm-hmm.
and Jackie Bascal, who was the casting director for a lot of different movies and modeling, but movies mostly. She said, "There's a movie being cast at MGM. I want to send you up for, and it's a wrestling movie, and you look very athletic." And I said, "I am very athletic." And she says, "I want to send you up for that." So she sent me to MGM, and that's where I met Ruby Cannon, casting director for all the Marvels.
Mm-hmm.
And they saw 2,000 girls for that movie, 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
And one was Kathleen Turner, famous actress, and she didn't get it. But there were 2,000 of us. Initially, they auditioned wrestlers that they tried to train to be actresses, and they couldn't. So they got actresses, and they trained us to wrestle. So from the 2,000, they narrowed it down to 12. From the 12, four of us went to wrestling school for 4.5 months, and then at the very end, the four of us had to wrestle for the studio brass. But we also had to do auditions. A lot of we had to do different scenes with Peter Falk. It wasn't just the wrestling that got us
Yes.
the movie, right? It was the acting. They wanted girls that could act. So
Yes.
that's how we got it.
So it was your first film.
No, it wasn't my first film.
But
I had
I
done,
mean, as a starring role, you did few films.
Yeah.
It was your first
Yeah.
film as a big role.
Yes.
I mean,
and it was an MGM movie. It was a big deal. Yeah.
yeah.
Before that, I had done a few films.
A few
real
films.
basketball comedy because I was athletic basketball, and then I had done Full Moon High,
Yes.
werewolf comedy.
Yes.
But you're right. You do your homework. You did your
Yes.
homework.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a launching pad. That was a very big deal. I couldn't believe that they picked me. As a matter of fact, my mother at the time and I, when the movie was coming out, we sat at MGM Studios, and above my car, was the label All the Marbles.
Yes.
At the studio, on top of the studio was, they at the time at MGM they always had the name of a movie coming out, and my mom and I just sat there, and I was in shock, and we should have taken a picture of the logo, of the title of the movie, but we didn't, but I couldn't believe it.
Mm.
I was very blessed. I was very, very blessed, to say the least.
But your co-star in the film was an actress as well, or she was a professional wrestler?
She was a dancer,
She was a dancer, huh?
Vicky Fred.
Yes, but yeah.
She was dancing on Broadway.
Yes, but tell me really, two important things. how was it to work with Peter Falk? He's a great actor. I mean, he's been there for a long time. I mean, comedian in action, in comedy. He's a very very good actor. And
Yeah.
and also a great director like Robert Aldrich. He's a big deal as well. He's one of the
Oh,
greatest American filmmakers.
Robert Aldrich is in America is considered one of the 10 top movie directors in cinema history.
Yes.
So, um,
Mm.
when I first met him, Sharif, I thought he was Robert Altman. I didn't know who he was. I said, "Very nice to meet you, Mr. Altman." And he said, "My name is Robert Aldrich." And I said, "Who's that? I'm sorry, I don't know who you are." It's true.
Yeah.
And his son, Bill Aldrich, was one of the producers on the movie. His son said, "Excuse me, this is my father, Robert Aldrich. He directed The Dirty Dozen, Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, The Longest Yard, Hustle." He went on and on. And I hadn't seen any of those movies. I was 19 years old, Sharif.
Yes.
I was 19. I didn't, all I heard of was Robert Altman. I didn't know who Robert Aldrich was. And then I felt like an idiot, of course. But that's what happened, yeah.
Yes. And tell me, you
Peter was
get
crazy. It was wonderful. He was crazy. Peter Falk and I were terrified to fly. So we had to fly for publicity, yeah, and we had to fly to film the movie all over the United States. Peter Falk and I would sit in the back of the plane because I would say to Peter, planes don't back into mountains, right? Planes go forward, they don't back into mountains. So
Yes.
we always sat together in economy, which was fine. Everybody else sat up in first class, but Peter Falk and I would always sit in economy together because we were terrified. We would hold on to each other. We both had our hips like this most of the flight. He was terrified to fly.
Yes.
So was I. And he would always talk to himself. He was very dedicated, very polished, and he would always talk to ladders and on MGM on the lot, stage 11. He would talk to ladders. He
Yes.
would talk to lights. He would talk to anything inanimate. He would just be saying all his lines, talking to the camera, talking to the light, talking to the ladder. But
Mm.
he was very, very dedicated.
Mm. But tell me, what are the pluses and the minuses for a beautiful young woman like you when you began? What are the good things and bad things in Hollywood when you are beautiful? What it gives you and what it takes for you? What are the positive and negative, the difficulties and the good things of being beautiful, of being you have beautiful face, beautiful body, huh?
Well,
Because
thank you. I don't consider myself beautiful, and I never did. But thank you very much.
Mm,
I don't, and I never did.
mm,
The positives were that I got into an industry very, very rapidly because of my modeling career. Was kind of a launch pad. But the pluses were I got to go to faraway places like Spain. And Spain, I got to shoot 2 movies there, Hundra and Yellow Hair, in Almeria and Segovia. And I got to go to France. I got to go to Switzerland. I would love to come to your beautiful country someday.
Sure.
Those were the greatest things about being in the
Yes.
film industry for me.
Uh-huh.
And the pluses, yes. The minuses were the people that you met because the minuses were that you were always being hit on. And at the time, I was with a very, very, very big agency, one of the top 3 agencies, right?
Yes.
And I made the mistake of going out to dinner one night with one of my agents
Yes.
at this big agency.
Yes.
And his sister was in town. His sister went with us. his family went with us and a bunch of friends. We went to dinner and he got drunk, and then he took me back to my house, and he tried to get in my house,
Yes.
and I wouldn't let him in the house, and my dog,
Uh,
my Lhasa Apso, peed all over his leg.
yes.
And he peed all over his leg, and I said, "You can't come in." No, and he said, "I want to make love to you. I want to make love to you." And I said, "No,
Yeah.
no." And he said, "Why not?" And I said, without thinking, without blinking, I said the truth.
Yes.
I said, one, you're my agent, and two, you're not my type.
Yes.
What else? I said, you're not my type.
Yes, and he did get beautiful. And he got a heart attack at your doorstep or not?
He was furious.
Yes.
He was furious. Sharif, he was furious. He wouldn't call me anymore.
Yeah.
He didn't want me to send me out on movies. Well, I did on the jury. Wait, I did all the Marvels. I, the jury, was 20th Century Fox, Airplane 2, Paramount.
Yes.
They offered me studios. I didn't have to read. But after I did Airplane 2 is when I went out. And I've been with the agency maybe 4 years, 3-4 years. And I went out with him, and he wouldn't call, so I called. I called the agency one day,
Yes.
and I asked to talk to him, and then he wouldn't come to the phone. And I asked his secretary, Jackie, why doesn't he call me back? I'm not being sent out or getting phone calls. And she just said, I don't know. And so a week later, I called, and he came to the phone, and he said, I said, I'm not being sent out. I don't understand. I'm not being sent out. And he said, well, you told me two things. You said I'm not your type, and I'm your agent. So I said, why? What does that have to do with sending me out? You said I'm not your type, remember?
Mm-hmm.
It turns out, Sharif, years later, 15 women filed a class action lawsuit against him and against the agency, and they won.
Very
And
good.
I was called, but I didn't jump on the bandwagon at all.
Yes.
So that paralyzed my career
Yes.
for quite some time.
Yes. But I see you started to work on a lot of independent films later
Yes.
on, action. Yeah, action film, and you did a lot of horror, science fiction, and comedies. So you kind of like overcome the change of agents and direction, correct?
Yes, I did. But I got out of business for a long time to take care of my mother, who was quite ill, and then my father, who had bladder cancer, and he had a cardiac arrest up in Vancouver, right?
Yeah.
So I took care of my daddy. So I got out of the business for a long time because the only thing that was important to me were my mother and my father.
Yes, because I noticed that let's say since all the marbles until now, compared to other actresses of your generation, you had lesser films. I mean, a couple of films every year or something, correct? This is why you took care of your parents, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got out of the business for about 9 or 10 years to
Correct.
take care of my mom and my father, my mother and my father.
Yes.
And that's my priority. I didn't care about the industry because the industry, I had enough money that I didn't care. All I cared about was spending time with my mom and dad. That's all I cared about. And I have no regrets at all. I have none, and I would do the same thing all over again.
Yes, very nice. Yes, and right now, because I've seen a recent interview of you making appearances in festivals or, events related to actors or veteran actors, who had health problem, you kind of support these actors, because sometimes when a lot of actors they became old, nobody take care of them, correct?
Yes.
Do you feel happy about that? You know, doing some time appearance for your colleagues and supporting them, at least by spiritually.
Supporting, I'm sorry, I don't understand. Other actors, I'm sorry, I don't
No,
understand.
no, because I'm saying that you appeared in a lot of events supporting a lot of veteran actors. I've seen you on YouTube, you know, like veteran actors or some social causes, you know, appearance and stuff like that. Do you like doing so?
I love doing any charity for
Charity, yes.
rescue animals.
Really?
I rescue pit bulls. I have pit bulls, yes.
Mm.
I rescue dogs and I rescue cats. And I belong to an organization called Circle L Ranch. They're
Yeah.
Prescott, Arizona.
Mm.
So I'm very big into rescuing dogs and cats, especially pit bulls. Do you have
Yeah.
pit bulls there? Do you have pit bulls there?
We have dogs and cats. I used to raise two cats when I'm younger, when my mother and my grandmother was around.
Yes.
But because right now sometimes I travel with my wife, so we don't have kids here. My wife's kids are in Europe, so we don't
She's
have.
very beautiful. Your wife is very beautiful.
Thank you.
I saw her on your webpage.
Yes,
She's
yes.
very, very beautiful.
She used to do modeling in Colombia before
I can tell. I can
getting
tell.
married, and then I'm her second husband. We got married 6 years ago.
Oh, congratulations.
I went to Ecuador to meet her.
What do you mean?
We met online and for 5 years we've been speaking. And I used to speak only French and English. I was in French school. I didn't speak Spanish, and I used to use translator and stuff like that. I know a little bit of Italian, and in 2013 I decided to go and meet her, and we got married in Ecuador.
You got married in Ecuador?
Yes, and it's very.
Where in Ecuador?
Ecuador is a country next to Colombia.
Oh, I know, but where?
In
I
Quito,
know, what city?
Quito,
Quito?
Quito. Yes.
Quito?
When we are in Quito, you should come visit us
Oh, I would
because
love
we have
to.
a very beautiful house. You can see, there is a volcano there. It doesn't
volcano?
erupt. It doesn't erupt, so you can see it from a very long shot. And we live in a very nice house. You can see horses and birds every day, you know.
Oh my gosh, how beautiful.
And my wife is trapped here in Cairo in the traffic with me because she loves me.
What?
My wife loves me. She's in Cairo with the traffic and everything. Here she moved to another complete. But we go to film festivals every now and then. We were in Russia last year. I got invited as jury member many times in film
Oh, the
festivals.
jury member, wow.
In film festivals.
That's
And
quite a compliment.
yeah.
Wow.
So several times I have a long CV of jury and organizing festivals. So tell me about right now what in right now in your career, what you would like to do, what is your plan, what is your focus right now?
Well, I have two movies coming out. One is with Bruce Dern. You know Bruce
Of
Dern,
course,
two-time Academy Award
of
nominee,
course.
called
Yes.
Nation's Fire.
I was seeing two films he co-starred in Quentin Tarantino, the Hateful Eight.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, I was seeing it last week again, and he was also in Django Unchained.
Oh,
And
yeah.
when I was in Karlovy Vary Festival a few years ago in Czech Republic, I met Laura, his daughter, Laura Dern, his daughter. Yeah, he's
You know-
a very great actor, by the way, very great
Yes,
actor.
you know, when we did Nation's Fire together, he said to me, Bruce did in front of the entire cast and crew after we were done filming, in front of everybody. He said, Laurene, I've worked with the best of the best. I've worked with the greatest actresses in history, and he said there was only one actress in my life that I have worked with that is better than this woman. And
Mm-hmm.
he's meaning me. He
Mm.
said that would be my daughter. He meant
Yes.
Laura. What a compliment coming
Yes.
from Bruce Stern,
Yes.
because it was a very emotional a couple of scenes I did with him. He plays my husband in flashbacks,
Yes.
and I'm an alcoholic, crazy woman, alcoholic, out of control, tragic, yet very funny. But I lost my mind in that movie,
Yes.
and the director said to just go for it and go psycho, and I did.
Yes.
So uh, Bruce said you're unbelievably talented, and so did the Hollywood Reporter.
Yes.
The movie Sky.
Yes.
I have Nation's Fire coming out, and also Agramon's Gate. I star in Agramon's Gate. It's
Yes.
winning its first place at almost every festival
Yes.
that is entered into. The director is Harley Wally. He's an incredible director. He reminds me of Robert Aldrich,
Yes.
because his iconic imagery when he films is just so reminiscent of Robert Aldrich, and how he talks to you, and he directs you. He makes you feel like it's only you and him in the room, and you trust him and implicitly. And it was very, very, very emotional role that I played in Agramon's Gate. I've been in the movie. I've been in a mental hospital for 25 years,
Mm-hmm.
and she's insane.
Mm-hmm.
And so he took me places in my reverie, in my heart, that I would never have gone to with any other director except Robert Aldrich.
Yes.
So I'm honored, and now I'm doing Flow, Fabulous Ladies of Wrestling, by the same director, creator of Glow, Gorgeous Ladies of Wrestling, Matt Simber. I'm having dinner with him tomorrow night, and his wife, as a matter of fact,
Good.
with Lynn, his wife Lynn.
Yes.
And we've been shooting a lot of episodes of Fabulous Ladies of Wrestling, and we have two companies that are very, very interested in buying it. And I'm doing another movie called Clown Motel pretty soon, and another movie called Sorrow's Way. It's a tragedy. The movie's a tragedy, but I love
Yes.
the role.
Yes.
The role.
Yes. My last question, I want to tell
Sure.
in your own word,
Yeah.
how do you see the changes, in the industry, 70s, 80s, 90s until now, in your own words, the industry in Hollywood and also in America, the society, how do you see things changing? What are the changing?
I think I thank you for asking me that. Nobody ever asked me that question before. Thank you for asking me that.
Welcome.
That's a very important question. I suppose there's two things. One, I love film. For me, film is forever, and digital is deletable.
Yes.
I love film. Like
course.
Tarantino loves film as well.
Yes.
The other change I see is there's so much violence in movies today that everybody has become desensitized to violence, and I think I believe, personally, it's just me, I believe that these violent movies, the violent movies and the violent video games transmit messages of excessive violence.
Yes.
And that's why there's so much insanity in the United States and violence. As you can
Yes.
see, as you hear, I'm sure, every week there's a shooting, multiple shootings here in the United States.
Yes.
It's out of control that it's terrible.
Yes.
So that's the change that I see. The digital change and also violence that I see in movies. I love the old movies like anything Omar Sharif was in, anything James Cagney was in,
Yes.
Marlon Brando. I knew very, very well. Marlon Brando, I called him Pop, Dad, because I lived with his son, Christian Brando, for many, many years.
Yes.
But I don't know about you, but I love the old movies.
Yes, yes. I love very much black and white, and for a long
Me
time
too.
I used to be addicted to TCM, Turner Classics.
Yes, the kind of classic movies.
And
Yes.
yesterday, I was browsing YouTube, and I found an interview with Lee Marvin.
Lee
Uh,
Marvin.
yes, and he was speaking about shooting Liberty Valance in black and white, and they were testing first to shoot the film in black and white, and maybe they considered to do it in color. And after they did few rushes,
Right.
they found it is very suitable to the story and to the character. Although at that time, color used to be an widescreen. It was
Yes.
CinemaScope.
CinemaScope. Yeah.
And Lee Marvin himself was speaking about how black and white lighting and shooting and camera works. They give us cinema and film genres that are impossible to be done right now.
Right.
Because if you see the classic detective films,
Oh, film noir. Film noir.
the
Yeah.
film noir, and you did eye the jury, it was done before in black and white, and a
Right.
lot of Matt Helm film and a lot of detective films. These films, with the dark alleys and the smoking and the femme fatale, and the casinos and the bosses and the mafia. All of these
Yeah.
films are reflection of the period. You cannot do it in color, and in
Right.
digital right now you cannot
There's
do
no
it.
comparison. I like black and white movies much more than color.
Yes,
I always have. I always have. The film noir, I just think they're fabulous, the black and white. Do they cost more money to
of
make
course.
black and white or cheap?
Right now it's cost because they don't have many negative. I mean, the film itself, they don't
Oh,
produce it anymore, and Kodak shut down right now. For certain directors to find film, it is very
yeah,
difficult. And Tarantino shot the Hateful Eight on 70 millimeter format, and it's a
right,
very rare format to be. For him to find film, it's very difficult. And also the cameras, are bigger than now. It will be an additional job for the director of photography. Maybe I should direct a film myself. I'm speaking a lot of
good.
technicalities.
You should. Why haven't you?
Well, because I like to watch maybe and write about film more, and but I write television show about cinema history here.
Right, I know.
Yeah, yeah. So it's okay. Yeah, yeah. So I'm very happy that we connected
Thank you so
online,
much.
and I wish you all the best.
You're so
Uh,
kind. Thank you for
uh,
taking your valuable time to
uh,
speak to me. I
yeah.
really appreciate it.
Yeah,
Uh,
I want to tell you that we are preparing a new festival in next December, and if there is an opportunity to invite you with us, I will tell you beforehand.
it is a film festival?
Yes, film festival, and it is
Oh,
organized by the Film Syndicate in Egypt.
oh my God. I
Uh,
would love to come.
it will be in Menia, and Menia is a very historical city. It is the hometown of Rami Malek, who won the Oscar this year.
Oh, he's
Yeah.
my favorite actor right now. Him and Tom Hardy.
Yeah,
Him
yeah.
and Tom Hardy.
So,
Where's he from? Where's Rami from?
Egyptian. He's Egyptian.
He's fabulous. He's amazing. I knew he
my
was going to win Best
my
Actor.
my wife
You
is
know
is
something?
crazy about
Something?
him. My wife
I
is
saw him
yeah,
years ago
yeah,
in with my friend, dearly departed friend Larry Cohen,
yes,
in a TV series. Okay, not Pearl Harbor, but
Mr.
it was
Roboto, Mr. Robot.
no, not Mr. Robot. It was way before that.
Yeah,
It was a TV series about the war,
yes,
and Rami had a small little part in it,
yes,
and Larry Cohen, who was a very famous producer,
of course.
director, writer,
Yeah, yeah.
he didn't know who he was. I didn't know. But I said to my friend Larry Cohen, that boy right there
Yeah, he will be a star.
is going to be a superstar.
Yes.
He said, well, how do you know? He said, but you always know. You've never, ever, ever been wrong.
Yes.
And look at him. I said, I told you he was going to win and he's going to be a superstar. He was in the Pacific. I think it was called
Yes.
the Pacific.
Yes. You know, he right now he's doing the last season of Mr. Robot, and
Right?
also they cast him in the new James Bond as the villain in the
That, I
new.
heard that, yes.
So he's doing quite well, you know. Yeah.
He's impossible to believe. He's so talented.
Mm.
But I knew this back when I saw the TV series on cable. HBO, maybe it was, the Pacific. I knew when I saw him, he was going to, I just knew. I got chills when I saw him back then. That was about 8, 9 years ago, 10 years
Yes.
ago.
Yes.
And
He has talent. You can notice it. You can notice it.
his amazing eyes,
Mm.
his beautiful eyes, most exotic eyes I've ever seen.
Yes.